Satsang. To be with the truth. It all depends on the way you look at the creation. We all are continuously in the journey of the truth.
Satsang has many dimensions of expression. If in life, if you can express and experience life in its purest form, that is satsang. Purest form in the sense beyond any other mediums, meaning beyond any memories, beyond any language, beyond any conclusions, any experiences, just in the pure presence, if you can be in touch with what is, that is satsang. Can you all please close your eyes? In this moment, can you exist in the possiblest, purest form? In the most possible, purest form. Not burdened by previous moments, not bothered by next moments, not only with moments, not at all burdened or bothered by anything else. This purest moments this crystal clear state of mind you use a lot of time in your life to eat something, to have something, to travel somewhere, Satsang is the moment you are with everything. That oneness. Satsang is a boundary-less expression of life. Satsangatve nisangatvam. Nisangatvam means when the nisangatvam happens, satsang is the result. Nitsang means you are not identifying the happening of life with any particularity. Nothing in particular what you perceive, nothing in particular what memory bothers, nothing in particular what illusions, imaginations you have. Your chitta is not bothered by any vritti. What Patanjali calls as chitta vritti nirodha, Shankara calls as nisangatvam. Truth is what is satsang. Be with what is. Be with what is. That means you no need to be with what you hear, be with what you touch, be with what you see. Can you be beyond sense perception? Satsang. Senses, instead of perceiving the external stimulations, places the internal expression in this creation. Senses are required. If you are walking in the street, your senses speaks and makes you to understand the truth of traffic. If you are walking in the forest, your senses makes you to understand the truth of trees. If you are swimming in the ocean, the truth of ocean. The same senses let them make you understand the truth of the self. As you are in the forest, as you are in the traffic, as you are in the ocean, can you be with your true self? Let the senses perceive the true self. Satsang. When you feel to open the eyes, you can slowly open the eyes. Satsang is a continuous process. And everybody thinks they are with the truth. That's why even it's not easy to change anyone. That's why even by listening anything, nobody changes so easily. Only experiences changes a person. No words, no readings, no talkings, nothing. Of course, they change a person, but it's very, very slow. The authentic way of transformation is experience. If you are experiencing the car in the traffic, you experience the driving. Anybody can talk for hundreds of years about driving. What you experience with the driving, that's ultimate. By showing a picture of forest, you may experience that forest to some extent. But once you walk by yourself in the forest, no experience can replace that, because that's what forest is. You are with it. In the same way, if you have a wish to experience the self, you have to be with the self and experience it. Every spiritual practice is to make you to experience the true self. Why that experience of true self is required is mainly because that is the basic program which gets manifested into everything around us. If you wish to see the star, you have to look at the sky. By closing the door inside, you will never be able to experience the star. In the same way, if you wish to experience the self, you have to dive to the self. Because out of that self, everything manifests. If you know yourself, you know the self of each and every bit of this creation, because self of you and me all same. The mind which continuously has programmed through separations, through differences, has to be reprogrammed, substituted by oneness. The difference is each and every moment program of each and every living thing on this planet. Without experiencing the differences, you cannot make any kind of journey in the nature. Impossible. You should know the difference. You need to experience the differences as long as you are living in association with the nature. You should differentiate between your car and the next car. You should differentiate between red light and green light. You should differentiate between ocean and the shore. Always difference. So this program is continuous and very strong. It has happened for millions of births. The mind has strongly programmed to experience the differences, which is reflected as ego. This is the direct link. Experiencing the differences from outside, reflection of ego is the consequence of that. The more you are feeling different than others or other things, the more ego is boosted. Instead, the program of differences, the program of separation has to be substituted by the program of oneness. This will be a possible solution for all kinds of problems what we all have in life. Whether the problem may be personal, whether the problem may be in general or social, let it be anything. For every problem, the solution is in experiencing the oneness. That is the greatness of meditation. Why it is like this? Because life is the manifestation of your own self. See, if you are dreaming, what you dream is the manifestation of your own state of mind. What you dream is entirely different to the person next. But you feel it's real. And even in dream, your friends may be there. Even in dream, you are driving a car, swimming, everything possible. Everybody is there. Your friend may be sleeping next to you. Your friend may be walking in your dreams. Multiple dimension of possibility. That is the truth of the creation. Because creation has no restriction. Creation, what we feel from the nature angle, is the multi-dimensional. Anything, any possibility is expressed. There is no limitation. Every possibility is creation, because there is the abundancy, infinite possibility of the conscious state. You are dreaming, your friend may be there in the dream, your friend may be there in the sleeping. next to you one more person is dreaming, your friend may be there in that dream also. It appears real for them. In the same way, this multi-dimensional reality, we all manifest when we carry our journey on this planet. And everything appears as real. That's what Shankara called as Maya or illusion. Satsangatve Nisangatvam. The same Shankara, Nisangatvam. Whatever any particularity in the sense, the differences. We all have a common platform, a common source, where we have a possibility of know the ultimate truth, the absolute truth, from where everything gets manifested. If you are able to touch that source, the point of manifestation of life, if you have a very celebration filled, healthy based life, what dream you will have will be healthy dreams. If you don't have any fear in you, there will be no fear in the dreams. If you don't have any desires in real, there will be no desires in the dream. If you are happy and celebration genuinely in the mind, you will be happy and celebrating in the dreams. Who you are at the mind state, it gets reflected in the dreams. In the same way, who you are at the self gets reflected in unfolding of life. This unfolding of life, whether it is a personal, general or social, whatever you call, is in the end who you are at the self. If you are able to spend time with the self, spend time with the self means not guided by any illusions, not guided by any teachings, not guided by any discourses, not guided by any past or future, any perceptions. At that moment, in its purest form, in your own journey with your own self. Nothing can substitute there. And it should not be substituted by anything if your wish is this. Even your own sense perceptions should not substitute it. Tadha drashtuhu swarupe avasthanam. That's what Patanjali speaks in the beginning of his sutras. Then only the real self is expressed. The real swarupa, the real rupa, swarupa, the self. That makes you understand what is life. What is the purpose of life? Why I am behaving like this? Why I am aggressive? Why I have complaints? Why I cry? Why I am in pain? Every solution you will get, because you are with the source. If you want any solution for your dream issues, in your dream, if you are bitten by a snake, in your dream you are drowning in a river, how you can solve it? You have to come out of the dream if you want to authentically solve it. In the same way, by catching the manifested part, and already which is a result in front of you, and if you want to bring any changes in life, any transformation in life is quite impossible task. If you wish to make a genuine transformation in life, the one and only solution is to enter the phase from which the life itself is manifested. All kinds of impurities has to leave the system. You are pure. That purity is freedom. That purity is love. That purity is oneness. That purity is spirituality. That purity is you, me, birds, animals, ocean, everything. To that all-inclusive purity, that non-differentiated purity, which connects all of us to that purity, that divine energy. To that, if you are able to align every day, it's enough. You no need to do anything else to transform your life, to reform your life. All the circuses towards that stops. Just to establish in the true self. That is satsang. Satsang is not only the sessions what's happening here. In fact, each and every living thing on this planet, to that extent in this universe, they're all moving towards satsang. Why you drive your car? Why you swim in the ocean? Why you travel? To find something, to reach somewhere, to search, to get something. In fact, each and every living thing is making this eternal journey to touch that source, to touch the core from which everything gets manifested. That's all the program what we all undergo in this creation. If you have that space, that is the basic thing needed to be in a satsang. You may tell, oh, I am very busy in my whole day. I don't have time to meditation. I don't have time to meditation. It means you don't have time for your own self-expression. You may go for swimming, you may go for some sports, you may go for some activities, you may go for outing with the friends, and your schedule may be very full for next few months, and yet you may brand, I don't have time for meditation. That means you are ready to spend your lifetime for an implemented program. If you are playing a game, it's an implemented program. You have to be in a particular way. Every action demands a particular way from you. Even if you walk in the street, you may be free to walk anywhere, but you're not totally free. You have to behave in one or the other way in a particular way. A particularity will continuously will be going to bother you. The total freedom is satsang. To that level, whatever actions we all do in life, through every actions we are trying to express the true self. It's a journey. A butcher who is cutting the animals, by expressing violence, he is making a journey towards non-violence. By liberating his conditionings. A person who is lying, a person who is expressing their desires, an animal which is eating another animal, a person who is meditating, a person who is walking in the street, everything, every bit, every action is the complete form of divine expression where each and everything is moving, making a journey towards expressing the self. There is no other journey is possible. The one and only journey is the manifestation of the true self. Everybody, every living thing makes a step towards that. Means may be different. People may be doing different things. In the end, why they are doing different things? Some people at this moment may be getting rid of their karmas. Some people may be adding more karmas. Why people add and get rid of karmas? If you get rid of karmas, you move towards the self. If you are adding more and more karmas, then also you are moving towards the self. Mainly because the more you add the karmas, the more you have to feel your journey in the experience field, meaning you have to more interact with the nature. The more you interact with the nature, it pushes you towards the consciousness. It's always like that. That's why the more you travel, the more you understand. In the end, who am I? Why I am traveling? Even if you speak to the people who travel for 8 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, they tell, oh, I need a center. Oh, now I understood. Who am I? After traveling, I am able to come out of my angriness. After traveling, I was able to come out of my holdings. This traveling expanded myself. So through that, you are interacting. Through interaction with the nature, you evolve. The more you have imprints, the more interaction you will have. Lesser the imprints, easier the life. So in the end, in both way, you will be through way of struggle, through way of imprints, you are making a journey, maybe a slower journey, maybe a struggle journey towards the self. With the lesser imprints, lesser and lesser, you are becoming the self itself. So this whole creation is sculpturing. Millions possibility of experiencing the self. Because that is the depth of consciousness, is multidimensional. It needs to experience itself. A duality is in front of us. A non-duality is the truth within us. Not only this planet. If you look at the creation like this, you cannot count billions of galaxies. Unexplainable. Not even by speaking we cannot reach. From birth to death, you put 1, you tell 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. You go on telling to that extent exist things around us. So many planets are there, so many galaxies are there. It's not ending. Because that is the richness, infinite richness of the consciousness. And it's multidimensional. On this planet, under this program, some millions of people are making this journey. Like this, under different physical laws, under different programs, under different planets. It's all possibility. On this planet, we may have water as ocean. And scientists found in some planets methane, the liquid methane is ocean. See, their life manifestation has a different physical laws and different physical program. Here, if the gravity makes a particular way of life, some planets are there where there may not be gravity. Like this, every possibility is there. So this ultimate aim of life is not to struggle for things in the outer interactions. It's not at all about what you perceive. What you perceive is a symbolic representation which indicates, oh, you are here, you are alive. You have this possibility called life. So beyond the perception program, if you can touch the expression program of the self, that is satsang. This perception program to transformation into the expression program, there lies the keys to the peace. That is the key for celebration. That is the key for easiness, simplicity. If you are able to do this, every word of Patanjali Sutra, every word of Bhagavad Gita, every word of any Upanishad falls in this line. One truth expressed in different words. Because understanding should happen multidimensionally. That totality of self-expression. Towards that, when you are making the steps in life, that is satsang. What is the importance of chanting? As we understood in the beginning of this satsang, the purpose of life has to travel from differences to the oneness. How you can travel from difference to oneness? By expanding the self-awareness. Let's say, for example, imagine a situation. You don't need to imagine, for you it may be imagination, true. Even if you look back few decades ago on this planet, people had no much options to travel. Somebody born in Europe, they are confined to that land, most of the people. Somebody born in South Africa, somebody born in India, they are confined to there. Out of that confinement, what used to happen? A strong belief in the local culture used to happen. The way they dress, the way they do the offerings, the way they practice the rituals, the way they treat the friends, what their expectations, their desire, their wants, everything used to happen as per the local conditionings. The world began to open. Mode of transportation improved, flights, trains, like jobs, communications. Even we may condemn the modern technology. In one way, it's connecting the people globally. So this openness, it's very interesting to see. For example, if you take the concept of worship in India, how they worship a god, let's say in Mysore, even though they are Hindus, how they worship the same Hindus, how they worship the god in Bali is totally different. The way you put the flower, the way you rotate your hands in front of the god is totally different. The way they worship the same god in South Africa is totally different. The way they worship in church is different, the way they worship in the mosque is different. The people who are doing their namazes in the mosques, who are praying in the church, who are in the temple, if they visit each other, most of the tension diffuses. Then they, same people, same blood, same human. Believing so strongly that something is a way. The moment you begin to feel this is the way, you are collapsed. Religion starts, faith, beliefs starts. It leads to aggressions. It leads to creating. We all know the consequences of that. Instead of that, not to be in any particular way. Even in front of the so-called God, if you are standing and if you are doing like this, it's a particular way. I am moving. It's a restriction. It's a rigidity you are building inside of you. Let it be any kind. Even if you are putting a flower like this, who are you to offer flower to the God? Who are you to offer? He has offered the flower to the plants. The moment, oh, I can pluck a flower from the plant and I can buy a flower, whatever may be, and you are trying to you are expressing a particular way. Confinement, rigidity, practice, ritual. So that means you are a particular type of person. So you may be astonished, it's a fact also, if you are putting a flower to the God, in some places on this planet, even they offer liquor to the God. You know that? Whiskey, brandy, beer, they worship God, really. A person who has seen the flower and goes to that land, oh, they are stupid people, they are pouring the liquor on the God. They tell you are stupid, you are throwing the flower on the God. Who knows which is better? Liquor has no life, flower has life. You have plucked the flower from the plant. You may think, I am very preciously I am putting the flower. Actually, you may be more stupid person than person who is giving a liquor to the God. Why? Because your process of action is involving some pain to the plant. If he pours the liquor, he buys the liquor, there is no, at least to that extent, there is no life is lost. Which is better, which is not better, who knows? That's why it's not to decide that is better, this is not at all. Why to fall in that game? A game of a particularity always comes with a judgment, always comes with the consequences, always comes with the conditionings behind, which rules. The journey of life to be matured is to travel beyond any confinements, beyond any limitations, beyond any particularities. You want to do meditations, you want to practice meditation, and you want to reach the state of pratyahara, where you are not triggered by any external sense perception, and you are doing particularities as a ritual by sitting in front of something or whatever it may be. Gone. Then in your meditations, that comes, that particularity is the basic background what you have. Because meditation is not a magic. It's not an imagination. It's not a thing what happens as per your want. It's a thing what happens as a happening. It has nothing to do with your wants. It has nothing to do with your expectations. It has nothing to do with anything else other than factually who you are. Actually who you are. Fact basis. On the fact basis, you are a person who don't believe in anything. You are a person who has not a particularity with anything. You are a person of abundance. You are a person of borderless. You are a person of unlimited. You are a person of ingredient of infinity. That person closes the eyes. Then ultimate satsang happens. It's not only with the rituals what you do. You open your eyes, oh, he is like that, she is like that. I don't have, they have. Comparison, judgments. Again, you are a person full of particularities. Like this, if you analyze different dimensions of life, full of particularities, rules. Even if it is a bit hot outside, people begin to complain. It is hot. It is cold. There is no shade. Oh, I am in a city, everywhere building. I feel bored. They had some work. They made a choice to be in the city. They begin to complain about the buildings. They made a choice in the forest. They begin to complain about the mosquitoes. Of course, you had to safeguard from the mosquitoes, but you had, instead of complaining, find a solution. The most important thing is not to get disturbed inside. The acceptancy of what is, non-complaining with what is, not illusionary. You may have any expectations about life. Are you trying to implement that expectations with the reality what is manifesting outside of you? All these becomes a mirror to indicate where you had to reach. See, in the end, in life, nothing matters. What matters is who you are in a freedom state. Who you are in a very relaxed, easy, simple, just moving with the flow, happy, celebrating. Such a simple. Your simplicity is indicated. Then what happens? Your life itself becomes a worship. Your life itself indicates the true state of yourself. To that dimension of genuineness. Life itself is everything, who you are. There is no need to duplicate into something. There is no need to imitate into something. There is no need to separate. No need to fragment life. As one time, oh, now I am doing postures, now I am practicing yoga, it's the purest time. As long as I am in the mat, I should be peaceful. No. That's why Patanjali brings, when you are practicing tapa, swa-adhyaya, Ishvara pranidhana. Ishvara pranidhana. It's everything is a happening. That's what Ishvara pranidhana. It's just a happening. Even practice of my yoga on the mat is a happening. I am not the doer of it. That's what Ishvara pranidhana. If you are like that, that should be carried out to every actions in day-to-day life. That Ishvara pranidhana has to reflect. In the end, everywhere you are in a posture. Posture means what? Positioning of the body. You have to position your body wherever you go. You have to position your breath wherever you are. You have to position your mind in whatever situation you may be living. The positioning of the body, mind and breath is yoga. So whether you position on the mat or off the mat, it doesn't matter in a way. Only one advantage what you will have on the mat is the extent of freedom is more. The extent of freedom is more. Why? Because if you are positioning on the body in a street, your body is positioned. In the street it's walking, but a restriction is there. But on the yoga mat, whether you move your right, left, top, bottom, doesn't matter. Freedom. So under the freedom state, you will position your body, breath and mind to align with the freedom state what you are creating, that is the space of the self, and that freedom state you are trying to extend in the outside world. So that is the link to understand the true freedom. That is the link to know who you are. So from this angle, When we look at life, life is nothing but expansion, beyond any separations. When you are chanting, what happens? Chantings are not songs. Nowadays, some people may sing chantings as a song, but once the moment you sing a chant, it loses its depth. Chantings has a seed word. Seed word means basic words. This seed words gives expansive state of the consciousness, mainly because the manifestation of nature has stages. A tree, before appearing as a tree, it manifests as sound, it manifests as light, then it manifests as tree. Everything, every object, you, me, everything in this creation, it has stages of manifestation. Pure consciousness, then into sound, then into light, then into matter. So when you are chanting, it's like a traveling. See, if you are here, you travel to different places in life. Through traveling, you gain experiences. So once you gain experiences, it expands your awareness. In the same way, at the sound level, when you are chanting, it naturally expands the awareness, provided one condition is there under which it happens. Mind is not numbed. For example, if you repetitively chant one thing, mind gets numbed. Repetition. If you are repeating, you lose that benefit. Every moment it's fresh, as though you are new to this creation, as though there is a vast presence, as though you are innocent. For this expression, you have to align while chanting. Just you chant the sound, the Sanskrit basics, seeds of the sound. Once you are able to do that, that gives a different dimension to your chanting. So, through the chantings, you will align to the other frequency of the creation where a truth exists in a different level. A truth exists as matter, a truth exists as light, a truth exists as sound, a truth exists as consciousness. That's what I indicated in the beginning. The truth exists as consciousness, that is the basic thing. To that, if you are able to align, best. The most beneficial way. That's the way of meditation. That's the way of spirituality. For some people who are beginning their journey, who may not be able to align to that depth, or who miss a proper guidance, or who are in that path to reach there, for such people, chantings will help. So chantings has a benefit of expanding the self-awareness. If it is chanted innocently in a freshness, not a lullaby for the mind. If you do just Hare Rama, Hare continuously, is a lullaby to the mind. mind sleeps. You should take care. Out of chanting, mind is not sleeping. Mind is in presence. You are not losing the mind. You are flowering the mind. Absence of the mind or losing of the mind may be a consequence of chanting if it is repeated unconsciously. So that if that is balanced, chanting is good. Chanting, if it is Sanskrit, it is better because it contains the seed word. And chantings in dialects of Sanskrits are there, like Kannada, Tamil, Telugu. They are diluted to that extent. But it has benefit, but the highest benefit is got by the chantings in Sanskrit. Even in Sanskrit, many chantings in Sanskrit also are there about 500 years, 600 years ago, 1000 years. If you go back from Upanishad chanting, it has a different depth. The more the seed word is there, and also while composing the chantings, they have a particular way. You might have studied the Lagu Guru, when you studied the grammar. Lagu Guru, it's a period of time you use for pronunciation a word. That is, as per that exactly they make. And the whole script is written under a particular way of expression. So catching that, they have to chant. So in that way, chanting helps. That's what you call as meter, we call as Lagu Guru in Sanskrit. Meters are different, but authentically when you study the chantings, they are written in a particular way and it has to be chanted, not affecting that meter. So of course few ways of meter is there which suits to that. But for example, the meter means they should not break the border in it. Even I have seen in many yoga festivals and all, Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha, for example, Gayatri chant. They take a guitar and Bhu Bhuva Swaha, and then it is gone. It's a song. So that is why singing a song is different, chanting is different. As long as it's a chanting, different meter is good. That we will understand by studying a bit of Sanskrit also. But normally it is identifiable. So in Sanskrit there is no such a lengthy expression of any single letters. It's easily identifiable if you are exposed to bit the way of chanting. Why this question? Difference between spirituality and yoga. It appears mainly because if you are taking yoga as a posture practice, if you are trying to call yoga as some part of life which you practice on the mat, yoga is the way of life. Spirituality is also way of life. So yoga and spirituality, they are both same. Yoga may be called as a organized spirituality. Or else, spirituality happens for even to a mosquito, to cockroach, to humans. In the millions of life, spirituality happens. Through yoga, it is given an organized methodology so that the evolutionary process is quickened and boosted and the self-awareness is created. That is the advantage of yoga. So yoga and spirituality are both same in a way. Yoga may be an intense spirituality. If you want to differentiate it, you may call as an intense spirituality or a relaxed spirituality, which has no organized methodology in that sense, what I am telling. But in the end, everything moves towards the evolutionary process. That is the ultimate truth. So the whole creation is spiritual. Yoga is an organized methodology to express that spirituality by deciding at yourself, yes, I want to take a journey into it. I want to experience that ultimate possibility. So that practical expression possibility is with yoga. That is the difference between spirituality and yoga, if we wish to identify that difference. The best method to solve the stress is to understand actually there is no stress. There is no stress. It's a pure your own imagination, because without stress you miss your own identity by you. You want to feel your identity. So that's why you create the stress. You are giving undue importance to you. Undue importance. You don't need to be so important. And in this creation, to have a look easy. There is nothing compulsory that has to happen. Or there is nothing compulsory that should not happen. There is nothing like that. No compulsory. Stress is a reverse program what you have beyond this truth of life. Stress is nothing but you have a compulsive program. It has to happen. I have to finish. I have to reach. Whereas it's your own program. Creation has nothing to do with it. Creation's program has its own program, where there is no rush. Do you think creation is in stress? Have you felt creation is in stress? Never. Impossible. How you can tell creation is in stress? Because of its eternity. You and me, we all know, even we pass, next generation will come. They pass, next generation will come. It goes on and on and on. So, eternity. Once you align to that field of eternity, there is no stress. Which continues forever, where is the stress? Once you align for that eternity, there is no fear. Once there is no fear, there is no stress. Because fear is one of the major background from where the stress comes. See, why you will have stress? Mainly because you are worried about the result. That is another way of telling stress. Since you are worried about the result, you are stressed. What makes you to worry about the result? Because of the fear. Let whatever may be, I do my best, that's it. Whether you are stressed or not stressed, it doesn't matter. Always you can do to the best. That's it. Once you know this formula that I can do to my best, I cannot do beyond anything, that automatically releases out your stress. Stress is a self-created component out of all these misunderstanding what's around us. So to get rid of the stress, you should get rid of your own mind program, which feels a result should happen as per my expectation or somebody's expectations, or guided by fear, or they have their own program in respect of the temporary happening. That's why Patanjali brings the concept of abhinivesha. Even you are not worried about your own death. Such a braveness in life. Then suddenly a calmness comes. Even if you are ready to die to next moment, what can happen? And if that is decided already, even you cannot stop. Just embracing unconditionally life, that automatically brings stressless life. It's a possibility for every human on this planet to live stressless. Just they have to drop their own identity. Identity of a reference. Identity of a comparison. Identity with a judgment. Identity of some past. Identity towards a result. If you are able to stop such identities, bring out the best. That's all. That takes away the stress from life. Thank you all. I wish you happy days ahead.